I'm Dean Bushmiller, and this is Penetration Testing Principles and Practices. If you're not seeing this full video version, go to expandingsecurity.com and you can get quizzes, badges, and even this interactive mind map. So let's get started. The concept for penetration testing principles and practices starts off with how do we verify controls? And that's like the magic question. Okay. Now, in penetration testing, we do what the bad guys do to learn their attack tools that they use, to know the problem, to fix it before it happens. Really, before they do it to us. I mean, hopefully we can get to that. Now, if we look at the attacker or the adversary, remember, they don't have any contract with the victim. They have to continually defend against discovery, and they're trying to reduce our system security to get at some sort of our assets, and they're definitely breaking the law in most cases. Now, the problem is that they only need one way in. As defenders or as testers, we must find every single different way in. We have to know our jurisdictional laws and our boundaries that we have. We have to have a contract before the first interaction. It's really important before you even get money from a client. Like when I get money from a client, I send them a non-disclosure agreement before we start even discussing things. And every single piece of the compromise is defined in some sort of scope prior to what we're doing. And I'm not going to break the contract to win. And I see a lot of gray hats and cowboys going ahead and saying, well, an attacker would have done this. But that wasn't in the contract. Also, I have a lot of time and money constraints. Don't get me wrong, I love doing penetration testing, but the reality is that I have a life outside of this. So I have time and money constraints, and therefore I'm going to negotiate contracts with you. Now, what happens a lot of times is I go into a client's site and I get the person that wants to hire me, and then I get this person, and they're like this. And they go, they will protect us. We don't have to worry about this. Here's the problem. The problem is that there is no they. I mean, okay, well, let's pretend. Why is there no they? Well, first off, if you were to go to your local police, they're going to say, they stole what from you? Hey, did they physically harm you? Where's the break-in? Can we go ahead and dust for prints? They're looking for physical harm. And when you say you've stolen something virtually, the police kind of like short circuit at that point. So they really can't help you. They understand computer crime, but they really don't understand unless there's that asset. Now, let's say that you're in the United States and you decide that you want to go to the FBI. The FBI will protect me. Well, is it more than $2 million? And I would even say these days in 2024, is it more than $5 to $10 million worth of loss? Because they've got a couple hundred cases that are below that threshold that they're never going to get to because they have limited resources. So they will not protect you. The next one I get is, well, we bought a firewall. Yeah, well, the firewall's probably not tuned. Or we bought antivirus. Is that on your phone, your tablet, or any kind of BYOD device in your organization? And the answer is no. Now, we don't want to get adversarial with the client, and we'll talk later on about how you sell to the client. But really what this boils down to is if you've got somebody that doesn't want a penetration test, you go, I got plenty of people that want me to do this penetration test. The other thing that we have to get into very early on is starting to talk about the teams that you may encounter, because they're going to use this teaming concept. They're going to say, oh, I'm on the blue team. That means that they're defenders. Or I'm on the white team. That means that they're the referee between the red and the blue team. Or I'm on the purple team. Well, those are the people who do detection methodologies. We, penetration testers, are on the red team. Now, we are pretending to be attackers. We use all of the facilities of attackers, but everything is based upon what kind of contract we have, what kind of mission they have, what kind of scope we set and agree to, and what kind of tools they'll allow me to use. I've gone into penetration tests and say, oh, you can't use Metasploit. We don't want you to go. We want to do a non-lethal red team advanced penetration test. Okay, well, wait a minute. Let's get to the contract and kind of figure this thing out. Okay. It's confusing because there's a lot of names for the same thing out there. You might hear people say advanced persistent threats or APT testing, or red teaming, or ethical hacking, or penetration testing, or vulnerability assessors. And it really comes down to what's the contract, what's the scope, what tools will they allow you to use, and you really have to suss all of that stuff out at the very beginning. Now, if you're having trouble getting buy-in, I strongly want to urge you to take a look at something called the CAPEC compelling use cases. They have about 26 different use cases that you can use, and that will build language that is compelling enough to get a penetration test done for your organization.